Hi, I'm Michael with VANQUEST here, and we're here at the 2019 IWA show. I just want to take you through some of our new products that are soon to be released. Follow me. So we'll start off with our very popular and by demand, we've got a smaller size Envoy. So the Envoy series has been evolving. This is actually the 4th generation of this backpack. Of this messenger bag. It's been a long day. And you can kind of see the two size differences here. This is the Envoy 13, and that denotes it's designed to fit a 13-inch laptop. This is, of course, the Envoy 17, so up to a 17-inch laptop. And this guy is just a little bit bigger than the last generation Envoy. If we open the pack here, you can kind of see that one of the major changes and something that people were asking for was it's a full loop lining. So we have these padded dividers. These are our newest generation padded dividers that articulate pretty well. But it's a full loop lining, so all the walls, the bottom, the front and the back, and the side walls are fully loop lined. So you can put any type of Velcro attachments or accessories on there, and the padding in the main compartment is a little bit thicker, so this basically allows you to throw any kind of sensitive electronics or anything in there and not have to use what we used to sell was a separate product called a drop-in organizer, kind of like a camera insert, and we would drop that in. Now it's basically built in, so you have a lot more functionality there. This front pocket is now fully loop lined. It used to just be a couple of strips. In fact, you can see a pretty good representation of how you can use that loop lining. This is the Envoy 13, so noticeably smaller, but that loop lining in the front pocket is the same on this guy. So that's a separate product that we sell. This is the sticky panel, 2x7, so 2 inches tall, 7 inches long, and it's very similar setup as our standard Maximizer webbing. So you have that offset Hypalon backed for a lot of grip back here with the Velcro rear attachment, offset stitched elastic, so you can add admin anywhere on the bag. If you kind of look at these packs, you can see just kind of a cleaner look overall, a little less tactical, a little, you know, I guess you could say more gray man, but just not as obvious, and just a cleaner front design. This is now 500D Cordura with still some 1000 denier Cordura on the bottom. You can kind of see the texture change from here to there. And the new water bottle pockets, which have been designed to be even sleeker. So now, this is a full-size Nalgene, so it's a 3.6-inch diameter that it can work in. Pretty decent size, but just a lot cleaner. So just a little bit of smooth Cordura there, and a small amount, if you need it, just if you need a little bit of MOLLE attachment there, but pretty low profile. I mean, really, it doesn't look like anything that's obviously some kind of deployed bag or anything like that. And common to, of course, both models, we have an updated CCW compartment in the rear. So it's full size now. It used to be a limited kind of zipper travel, but now it's full access. And there's actually a frame sheet in here, as well as full loop lining, so any Velcro accessories you like can be added with locking YKK zippers, so they can be locked with a zip lock or a luggage lock. And you have the luggage handle pass-through and a couple of pockets there, so if you wanted to slip a knife in, something like that, or a flashlight, it's no problem. And that's the Envoy series, available in black and wolf gray, either size, either the Envoy 13 or 17. And yeah, I think a lot of people are just going to really like the fact that now you have a very well-sized, and there's a CCW, of course, but a pretty well-sized. It's got to be green, otherwise you don't know it's a gun, right?
Yeah.
So pretty well-sized. I mean, I'm about 215 pounds, 6'1", and this sits on me pretty nice because it's right about there. Strap. You can buy this as a separate accessory. DT Cobra strap is for the, you know, bike messenger style carry up high like that. But that's about the right size. It fits my back. You know, something like this is much larger. If you're going for the Envoy 17, it's a mobile office. It's a travel bag. You know, it's a big bag. This is a really pretty big bag. But the 13 is about the right size, just for EDC and, you know, school, work, anything like that. And with a lower profile too. Just, you know, doesn't make you stick out in the crowd. Then on to, I'm going to shift over here to the Trident 21. So this is the 3rd generation of the Trident. This is our most dialed in generation yet. And the biggest news is finally, after enough people said, please put a damn water bottle pocket in, we built it in. And instead of like using elastic or you know, any kind of mesh or anything right there, that would be the first thing to go. You know, not in the first year or 2, but probably in the first 10 years of your use. So we had to use Cordura. This is not something that wears out or stretches or has a lifetime. I mean, the Cordura is always going to be there. So of course you're not going to use it. Zip it up. If you wonder, it can fit the diameter of a standard Nalgene. I'll show you an Nalgene. So a 1 liter Nalgene with that 3.6 inch diameter base, but it's a little big, so it can fit an Nalgene, but it is better suited for, you know, under 3 inch diameter water bottles. So if the diameter is under 3 inches, it's better in there. It'll still fit something large. And overall, you can see a much cleaner, just less tactical overall, like little oval cutouts here, just not as square and rigid as before. And in the front, now we're featuring the embroidered logo instead of the traditional kind of military looking old school square logo. But you still have your front carry handle, and that's awesome, really, just a pivot weight. It's like a 60-40 split. It's pretty convenient. And the layout is very similar on the inside. This is now full height, so you can actually see what's in there with our tough mesh on the inside. And kind of the cool thing, you can see here on the side, this is very low profile, simplified, just a little bit simpler. Hypalon Moly, laser cut on the side. So just what you need, you know, there's nothing extra. And on the inside, that snap, it's a full loop height. So it's full height, the whole thing is loop lined and quilted, allowing you to use a lot of different accessories in the Velcro range, as well as something that's kind of cool. These are now included. So these Trident 21s, 3rd generations, will ship with, these new padded dividers that, as you can see, you can kind of make anything you want. They're somewhat flexible and articulated, and they're full height. So you can see that it's the width, it's a full width, and now with Velcro all the way. So you can actually make a pretty stable shelf that'll hold more weight on the top. And you can configure them really kind of anything you want to. Like, I think someone was playing around with this one, but you get the idea. Yeah. For almost anything on the inside. And yeah, it's just a lot more configurable. But the other thing too here, the big change is this is now a zippered pocket. It used to be a Velcro flap, and you couldn't see inside. So now with the tough mesh, you can actually see what's in there, and there's a pretty good depth. So you can put a lot of stuff in there. It's not just a flat pocket. But overall, just a really clean example of the next generation of this bag. Of course, available in black, wolf gray, coyote tan, and multicam black. We'll also do multicam black in this one. It'll be a little bit more, I think $15 more. And that's the Trident 21. So you go to the Trident 32. And yeah, just 3rd generation of the Trident series and 2nd version of this bag. So again, it's going to look really similar layout. Pretty clean, again, a little less tactical, not just covered in Moly and Velcro. Little storm flap on the front here, so some Cordura to go over the zipper. Some protection, as well as kind of cleans the front up. The hydration pocket on the side here is kind of the same deal, the Cordura. it expands out pretty well. But we did save some weight on the new Molly panel. So again, just simpler. It doesn't used to be full height. It used to come up to here, and this was a little extra. And yeah, just save some weight there. We're now putting the Hypalon zipper pulls on this side pocket, so to help you aid opening and closing, you can hold this guy, have some tension on the other side.
Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah, exactly. Just really useful. On the bottom here, 1000D Cordura, and this really low profile 10 mil. So 10 millimeter webbing replaced the typical 1 inch that was here, and we even added some tabs that a customer drawed. Customer let us know to add a simple feature like these tabs on the end. We can take this shock cord, route it through here, starting here, and just make a little kind of sheath for you know, something like, most commonly will be an umbrella. Some people said tourniquet or whatever, or a small jacket underneath here. And the coolest thing ever, and this is what's really VANQUEST about this bag, the customer who submitted this idea, he actually on a YouTube comment used ASCII, the way to kind of draw with your keyboard, right, the old school way, in a YouTube comment, and we saw that, and we had a meeting the next day, and we said that's really cool, so we're going to implement that, and we put it on all of our bags now. So before it was this, and just add this, and this material, it didn't cost us anything extra. This material is going to get cut off anyways. So we're using the designer, we're designing the features based off the user feedback, and that was an excellent suggestion from somebody who might be a customer or not. But it was a very useful thing that we can absolutely incorporate to the bag. So, of course.
So you have always the ear for the customers.
Absolutely. I mean, I can go through. I mean, I almost know the names of each customer. It'd be hard now to remember, but this was a customer innovation. And yeah, basically, if you do use this feature, there's a handle here now that's new, and you rip the bag open, you don't want to lose your contents, so this is to help limit the travel. And one customer, actually his name is Mike, and we saw him at the USN show in Vegas, and he said, hey guys, he had a Javelin, the old school, first gen Javelin. I love this feature, but I don't use it most of the time. I think I'm gonna cut it off. I said, don't cut it off, Mike. We're just gonna throw in some elastic so you can fold it in on itself, and it basically vanishes away.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, so that was a customer innovation. Lots of people just say, hey, what about this, what about that? And usually it makes sense. Again, there was a wedding photographer. This was for the Gen 2. Yeah, the Gen 2 Trident 20, and I think it's on our website still. And he left a review saying, I was at a wedding, doing a wedding as a professional photographer, and he opened up, this flap used to be a Velcro flap, he opened it up, and it was a lot louder than that. And it might have even interrupted the ceremony, and people looked at him, and he kind of was like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. I wish that this was a zipper. Well, that makes a lot of sense. The company was founded by a couple photographers, so that makes a lot of sense. And then what we can do is deliver a split pocket here with a zipper. It's two-way, so if you need to get into both of them or just one, there you go, nice and quiet, and
cool.
Large enough to put anything in there, so it makes sense. But yeah, we are very customer driven, so much so that most of the improvements are coming directly from the customer's mouths. I mean, it's my job as one of the designers to implement these changes, and like 70% of the changes come directly from you guys. You tell us you want it, you know, a little more gray man, basically just less hard, less tactical looking, very, you know, right angles and stuff, and we can smooth it out for you. Again, this is a great thing. Eventually we might have thought of it ourselves, but it was him. He said, hey, it was for the Katara review, Katara 16. He said, hey, why don't you guys just do this? And then he just diagrammed it out using keyboard and a comment on YouTube, and we said, the next day we said, that's pretty cool, actually, so let's do it. But yeah, that's our commitment to the customer, really, to deliver a better product kind of every time, and it's just, you know, it's for you guys, really. We want to see better gear, and so do you. So this is a cleaner design here, some kind of similar looking if you own or have seen any of the Ibex or Marcor series. The Marcor and the Ibex series all have the same full height EVA foam. Really, really good, well channeled, so it breathes incredibly well. But it's a great suspension system overall. We have a full sheet of PE that goes all the way down to the bottom, and it's full width. So you can see that part of the sheet is in there still. And combined with the removable but very, very capable and just stiff enough waist belt with the pull forward adjustment. This is a dream to carry. Again, if you're going to load it out with camera gear or anything else, and you get into that 30, 40, almost into the 50-pound range, we've had many people report that is quite comfortable when properly adjusted. You know, you don't just throw it on and jam everything down. But yeah, this is just one of those products that just gets dialed in that much more. So we're very happy to release this, and we hope everyone's going to like it. I've been rocking the 30 size for a while. I think I'm going to go either back down to a 21, but I think the most responsible thing for me to do would probably be to try out an Envoy 13 for, I don't know, a year or two. And that's another thing. I got to carry it, and I got to see what I can see. I got to relate to the customers when they tell me I like it, except, or what if this, what if that. I got to use it day in, day out, so I'll be doing that. I'll do that since it's such a departure from everything else. But yeah, it's just so much fun to basically be a gear tester for the company, but also so is every other customer. All the customers. Doesn't matter if you're a professional background, non-professional background. It doesn't validate, our opinion of what you say. It's just, oh yeah, that makes sense, or yeah, sure, that's something we'll consider. So yeah, it's just different. We're focused on the product. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, thanks for stopping by. And yeah, that's all for the new products. And these guys will be available fairly soon, in less than a month's time. And a little bit longer for this, like a month and a half for the Trident series.
Yeah, okay.
But
really cool.
yeah.